Fantastic. Welcome, 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 guys. Welcome to Push Moment episode 18. And today we're talking about the law of the mirror, right? And the law of the mirror says for you to, add value to yourself, you need to have value. You need to see that you have value. But before we go deep into what we're teaching today, right, I just want to, say Happy World Engineers Day. And so today what is World Engineers Day, and I actually did go for the symposium that they did in Nigerian Society of Engineers headquarters in Abuja. It was amazing. I learned a lot, right? So one of the speakers, Engineer Bindir, he really added so much value, and he talked about how science, technology, and innovation need to work together to be able to produce things. And he said that science are doing, science doing the research and all that. Technology, they see the applicability of that research, and then innovation are the ones that can actually use and sell and make that um, technology or research economically viable. So, it's World Engineers Day, and you can see I'm wearing my my current badge. And so I talked about it on my WhatsApp status and on Instagram, where I said that it's funny, but I'm actually a current certified engineer, chemical engineer. I studied chemical engineering in university, and I actually did work as an engineer for about a year or two at the beginning of my career, and then I switched to sales. And from sales, I've worked in sales for close to 10 years. And now, I have a passion for personal development and coaching and business leadership coaching and helping people achieve greatness. And so you wonder, how does someone that started as an engineer and a salesman, and then now you are into personal development? And I'll tell you why. It's because I noticed that a lot of us don't really believe in ourselves. A lot of us have this self-doubt. A lot of us feel like, we can't achieve what we're set out to achieve. And the funny thing is that we all have this amazing potential. So imagine is how I see it is like you've been given acres of potential, right? Acres of potential, plenty acres, hectares, and you're only cultivating one small portion. Are you going to be able to get much fruit from it? No. So I think I took that upon myself like a life mission to help people to see that, they have that potential, to be able to see beyond the little acres that they're cultivating, right? So back into what we're saying, right? We're talking about the law of the mirror. And the law of the mirror says you need to see value in yourself for you to be able to value yourself, right? And there's a quote from Zig Ziglar, and it says that it's impossible to consistently behave in a manner that is inconsistent with how we see ourselves. So our self-image is very important. It's impossible. You can't see yourself as you are not worthy, right? You can't see yourself as you are not great. You can't see yourself as you are not an amazing person and then act as if you are amazing. You can't. It's impossible. So for you to be able to be amazing, for you to be able to do amazing things, for you to be able to grow, for you to be able to be that leader that you're meant to be, you have to see yourself as that, right? So it starts from how to add um, be of value, right? And the funny thing is this: a lot of times we seek validation from people. So we say, my parents need to validate me. They need to give me value. My spouse needs to validate my ideas. My boss needs to validate my ideas. But what you don't realize is that if you don't see value in yourself, people won't see value in you. The value that people see in you is the value that you place on yourself. So if you see yourself as low, if you see yourself as not worthy, nobody's going to see you as high, and nobody's going to see you as worthy, right? So it's important for you to be able to see yourself as a person of value, and then, you know, to command that value from people. And I'm going to talk about 7 things that you can do to build your self image so that when you look in the mirror, you'll be able to say, you know what? I'm great, right? So the first one is to guard your self-talk. What are the things that you say to yourself? Do you say to yourself that I'm a failure? Or do you say to yourself that I'm great? Now, here's the funny thing. When you see a child, and we can learn a lot of things from children. When you see a child learning how to ride a bicycle, right? And the child falls down, what does the child say? The child will say, ah, that stupid bicycle. Or if you see a child playing a game and the control pad is not working, what would the child say? The child will say, ah, this control pad is not working. Or this, what toy is not working. But the problem is we as adults, when things don't work, instead of us to say that thing is not working, we start to say we are not working. We start to say that there's something wrong with us. Instead of us, so let's say your laptop is not working or your phone is not working. Instead of it to say, oh, this phone is not working, you say, is it that is it that I don't know how to operate it? Why is it that we're always quick to put blame on ourselves? And so that's what I want. That's the call to action I want to have you think about today is what kind of self-talk are you having with yourself? Do you see yourself as an amazing person? Or do you see yourself as someone that is just like that, like this, like that, right? So going into, this week, I want you to be conscious. I want you to really think about it. I want you to be very cautious about what things you say to yourself, the things that you say to yourself, the kind of self-talk that you have with yourself, right? And then the second thing is in building a self-esteem is stop comparing yourself with others. You see, comparison is the thief of joy. And so there are two extreme ends that you face when you compare yourself. The first one is that when you compare yourself with people that are above you, what happens? You become discouraged. You feel like, I'm not even as great as I thought I was. And the funny thing, especially now with social media, everybody's photoshopping or rather they're putting only their best content out there. Nobody's going to put when he's drinking Gary now. But then you see someone post, he's driving in a big car, he's entering private jet and all that. Is he entering private jet every day? Is he driving that big car every day? There are times when that person is broke and down and depressed. But nobody's going to put it out there. So if you compare yourself with people that are above you, you become discouraged. There's another danger. If you compare yourself with people that are below you, what happens? You become proud. You start to feel, I'm above this level. And pride goes down before it falls. So pride is something that you don't want to have as you grow, right? So stop comparing yourself with others, right? And then the third one is to move beyond your limiting beliefs. What are those limiting beliefs that hold you down? What are those things? Whenever you think of doing something, what's the first thought that comes to your mind? Is it a thought that, oh my God, I can't do this? Is it a thought that, I can't? Let's say, for example, you say, I'm not a salesperson. I don't know how to sell. I'm not an author. I don't know how to write. So you need to confront those limiting beliefs. And I'll give you guys a story. For a very long time, I used to say that I wasn't a writer. I couldn't write, right? Right? That's like a rhyme, right? Anyway, so I used to say that I couldn't write. And but I knew that it was a limiting belief and I needed to confront it. And I knew that for me to be able to help people confront their own limiting beliefs, I had to confront my own limiting beliefs. So what did I do? Right? I decided to write a book. And that's when that's when I wrote Propel Yourself to Someplace Higher, Push. If you haven't gotten your copy of that book, I suggest you go to our website, www.thepushnation.com. You'll see shop. You see the book there. Grab your copy. It's a life-changing book, guys. Even me that wrote it, it changed my life, right? Now, when I wrote that book, I was like, okay, if I can overcome this, my limiting belief that I'm not a writer, it means that I can help people overcome their limiting beliefs as well. And so, what limiting belief is holding you down? You need to write it down and then you need to assess, is that a fact or is it just a limiting belief that you're just holding yourself? And go ahead and do it. Once you do it, guys, guess what? What happens? Once you do it, it's no more a limiting belief, right? And the fourth one is to add value to others. Now, I sent out an email today, and I was talking about how I lost 12 kg in 2 months. Woohoo! Right? And I was telling people that if you're interested, you can actually sign up on the waiting list. If you are on my mailing list, you should have received it by now. If you are not on my mailing list, send me an email, othman@thepushnation.com. Send me an email, put the header weight loss, and I'll add you to our waiting list. And once I add you to our waiting list, once the group session is about to start, I will inform you. Now, I lost 12 kg in 2 months, which was amazing. Like, as in, it was, and funny enough, it was pretty easy. I didn't really need to do anything too crazy for me to be able to achieve that, right? Now, I got a lot of response, and people were like, man, thank you very much. You keep showing up, you keep showing up, you keep adding value to us, you keep being there for us, you just keep being there, consistent and all that. And I got a lot of that, right? And I realized that when I show up, yes, I show up because I want to add value to you, right? But most importantly, adding value to you also helps me out. What does it do? It helps me feel good. It helps me improve my self-image. Because have you ever seen, it's going to be hard for you to feel bad about yourself when you're adding value to others. Let's say, for example, so a beggar comes to you and is begging you for money, and you're giving him, even if it's 10 naira, maybe it's your last 10 naira set, and you're giving the person that 10 naira. Will you feel bad about yourself that you're giving 10 naira? No. At that moment that you're giving, at that moment that you're adding value, you feel good about yourself. So one of the things that you can do to improve your self-image is to add value to others. And the truth is that we underestimate the things we know. You can actually add value to others in so many ways. What do you know? What knowledge do you have? What knowledge can you share? What comes naturally to you that you can share and people will gain value from it? Right? So that's one of the things that you can do. Now, the fifth one is do the right thing, even if it's hard. So many times I have this, I've seen this scenario where I'm driving and then immediately the light turns red and I stop. You see that the person behind me, maybe is in a hurry, will drive, come by my side, pa, 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 look at me and then, drive off or something. Every time that happens, when I do the right thing, I feel really good about myself. I feel like, oh, I'm a law-abiding citizen. I'm a change maker. I'm someone that is adding value to the society, to the world that I live in. Right? So one of the things that you can do if you want to improve your self-image is to do the right thing, whether it's difficult, whether it's hard or not. Just do it, right? The sixth one is to practice small discipline every day. Something small, nothing too crazy. Let's say, for example, you wake up, 8 o'clock every day. Maybe you're a business owner, you don't have to go to work, and you wake up 8 o'clock every day. And you say, okay, you know what? From today, I promise myself that I'm going to wake up 7 o'clock every day. And between that 7 o'clock and 8 o'clock, I'll read, even if it's 2 pages of a book. Now, when you do that little thing consistently, you start to improve your self-image. You start saying that, that means I have discipline, right? And you see, the funny thing is that a lot of times, like I said, to guard your self-talk, a lot of us say negative things about ourselves. You are talking to somebody and the person say, I'm not a reader, I don't read. But you know that readers are leaders, right? Or rather, leaders are readers. But you say, I don't read. So because I don't read, that means I'm not a leader. Do you understand? So when you're able to incorporate those little daily habits into your life, what happens? You start to see that your self-image improves. And the last but not the least is to celebrate your small wins, no matter what. Now, so one of the persons that I was chatting with on via email today was telling me that she lost 5 kg in 2 months. And I'm like, what? That's amazing. Well done. Right? And she goes, yeah, but, she would have loved for it to be more. But it's still amazing, right? So imagine how, you've been able to lose 5 kg, but because you want it to be more, you are feeling a bit bad. But imagine if you celebrate that small win. Like, yes, I was able to do 5 kg in 2 months. So I'm great, I'm amazing. Next 2 months, I'm going to double it, right? And that will make it easier for you. So I want you to commit to celebrate your small wins. For example, I'm live here, I'm on Facebook as well, and I can see that there are 2 people on. Would I, would I like more people to be on? Yes, I would love 50, 100 people to be on, but I'll still celebrate those 2 people that are on, right? Because it doesn't really matter. The most important thing is that I showed up, they showed up as well, they found value. The truth is, whatever all the personal development advocacy I do, I say to myself that even if it's one life I touch, I'm fulfilled, I'm satisfied, right? So most times yes, it's good to aim big, it's good to dream big, but also as you're aiming big, as you're dreaming big, celebrate those small wins. And so to round up, our discussion today, I want you to list out all your best qualities. Because a lot of times, and especially if you've been having negative thoughts about yourself, right? Listing out your qualities is going to be a bit hard for you. But I want you to stick with it. List out all your best qualities. And I want you to really go one by one and look at them and read them. And you will see that you are really, really an amazing person. Don't let anyone tell you otherwise, right? So thank you for joining, Push Moments episode 18. I hope you had value of it. Like I said, something that is upcoming is the Push Wellness Challenge, where we're going to work out how we're going to help you lose weight. If you are interested in it, shoot me an email, othman@thepushnation.com, and just, let me know that you're interested and we'll get it going, right? So thank you guys for joining in and have a beautiful rest of the day.